Hey guys, what's going on? Moo here. We are back with another episode of Questing Mayhem on Hardcore Edition. It has been a minute, so I actually don't remember what episode we're on. I want to say I think we're on episode 8 or 9? I honestly don't know. I should have checked before I started this episode, but I didn't do that, and so I'm just gonna roll with it. But, welcome back. I do apologize for some extended uh, time of no uploads. I've been trying to deal with a couple of things IRL, and it's kind of taken up a small portion of my time. But hopefully, I can get back to at least a small amount of normalcy again. I do have some news regarding other uploads that I have been trying to do in the past. My PC now works again. So what does that mean? Well, technically, Questing Mayhem will still be done from my laptop because I don't know how to set it up to where I can transfer it to my PC. And plus, for some reason, I can't do modded Minecraft on my PC anyway. I don't know. If y'all have any ideas on how I can fix that, let me know. Because I just, for some reason, have not been able to figure that out. But I did start a Dark Souls 2 run several months ago. And that has been on the back burner for a while. So, that does mean that I can return to Dark Souls 2. Now, what I'll probably do is I'll get back on Dark Souls 2 off cam and try to rediscover like what I was in the middle of trying to do or the direction I was going because the only thing I can remember about Dark Souls 2 was I think I got to some kind of a castle and I just died to a boss. And I think it was the triple boss or whatever. So that's gonna be later down the line, and I'll figure that out when I get to that part. But for now, we are on Questing Mayhem. We are on Hardcore, and I am going to be winging this episode today. I have no direction in what I'm going to be doing, but I will go ahead and grab the conductive iron that I did go ahead and start up before I was recording. So that is going. I also filled up the smeltery with a crap load of iron, and that has been going down as well. So the idea, at least for the beginning of this episode, is to get it to where I can at least attain power for other machines that are connected to the lava generator, which is actually very easy considering I just got myself some conductive iron, which is the one thing I actually need in order to craft said items. I do need to take a handful of those. And there we go. This gives us the energy conduits. And in fact, I'm going to craft half a stack because the quest reward gives us another half stack. And I would actually like to go ahead and have a full stack just to kind of start things off. I do plan to run into the nether real quick just to kind of do some mild explanations on a better way to do the nether because I actually forgot about this rule, in quotation marks, rule, that will help make life in the nether a lot easier. So get anything good. It's not terrible. Got some in here though, right? I don't. Okay. I did not mean to do that because I had stuff kind of situated in a different way. Damn it. You. That looks right. Okay. I am clicking very slow because it's been a while since I've actually done some quote unquote video game play. Anyway, so energy conduits, and we're going to get those placed. That should ultimately help us get some power and energy flowing towards the machines. I will have to do some minor tampering with stuff in order to actually get that to work properly. Um, should be the insert. It's not working. Why are you not working? You already had power. You're not getting any power. You're still not getting power. So that's not gonna do anything. That's only for items. Why do I do this again? Okay, I'm obviously not remembering something. So I'll have to figure that out. Alright. I'm gonna have to figure that out at a later time, probably after this episode, because that's gonna be annoying, and I kind of need those machines to have power, so I'm not constantly like picking them up and placing them down to give them some energy. So yeah, we'll throw those in there. But at least that part is done. Okay, so as I mentioned something about the nether. So when you go into the nether, there are a couple of things that could be fairly useful. One of which can be the broom, even though I mentioned several episodes ago that the broom is a good early game item, but it had a tendency of crashing things out. Well, I guess that got fixed, and I didn't recall because I was using it a little bit to see if it would crash things out. It didn't crash things out, so the broom is actually useful again, at least for the time being, until I'm able to just fly normally, but that's still a long way away. Anyway, so get those out of the way. We will grab the broom, and then we're gonna grab the pickaxe that I have with Silk Touch. So, why is the Silk Touch pickaxe necessary? Well, part of what makes the Nether so scary in Questing Mayhem is that if you were to mine any items in the Nether, the pigmen will get angry at you and they will try to attack you. Well, they hurt, obviously. They massively hurt. So, one way to just not have to deal with it is you get the Silk Touch pickaxe, you come find some of the ores that you need, you mine them up, and you don't even get the hissing that would normally happen whenever you go to mine stuff. So, like, for instance, let me grab this sulfur real quick. I did not mean to grab the netherrack, but that's okay. We're going to grab some saltpeter as well, because I do kind of want some of that real quick. So we grabbed a couple things, and I'll go ahead and go out of the nether, back to the overworld, so I'm safe. I don't have to worry about the pigmen, because they are a bitch, and I hate them. So I'll use the example with the sulfur. So come over here, place down the sulfur, grab a regular pickaxe, and listen. The hissing. Basically, in the nether, the ores are designed to essentially blow up. So think of it as having a creeper effect. It has nothing to do with proximity, it just has everything to do with mining. So one, vein miner's your friend, so you can mine everything right at the same time. And hopefully when you do mine, that they aren't connected to other ores. However, here is the kicker. If you mine them without having Silk Touch in the nether, and they do end up blowing up, they can hit other ores that are inside the netherrack that could be right next to it, which could cause even more explosions. Well, that's bad news because you could ultimately get hurt. And not to mention, if you mine anything in the nether without Silk Touch, the pigmen come after you and they start trying to whack you with their golden swords and will kill you in about 3 seconds. So, long story short, if you're in the nether and you desperately need to start mining stuff, get a Silk Touch pickaxe and also have a broom so you can fly around. This way, you can also get all the stuff that is up in the ceilings of the nether and all the kind of stuff, and you don't have to worry about falling into lava, because that's something I have to worry about with hardcore, because I'm already at 2 deaths, and I don't want to die anymore. And on that note, let's continue on. So, went ahead, grabbed a couple of ores that will go further into the actual questing line for the nether. Um, should be under exploration. And we're nowhere near it yet, but for instance, we're going to have the nether sulfur ore. We're going to have the saltpeter. I've already grabbed quartz a couple of times. That's salt ore. I don't know where the quartz is. That's not one of the ores to pick up anyway. Anyway, um, I do have to craft the quartz blocks. That is a terrible quest in my opinion, because in order to craft a quartz block, it used to be 4 in vanilla Minecraft. It is 9 in order to craft the block. Luckily, I think you can still uncraft it and get all the quartz back. I think that was added into the pack. That way, if you use the items, you can at least get them back. I didn't mean to do that. I have all this in my inventory. What was I gonna craft? Oh, I was also in the middle of trying to do tanks. I don't think that's everything for... Maybe it is everything for tanks, actually. Allow me a moment to dump items. I was like, am I keeping? I don't think I'm keeping netherrack at the moment. I am kind of keeping netherrack at the moment. Okay. My hand's trying to fall asleep. Alright, so, if I'm not mistaken, I was going after tanks because it's something that's needed. I don't remember specifically where I left off with the tanks and starting. So technically I have to make the ender chest first, and then I can unlock the tanks. What am I missing for an ender chest? I don't believe I'm missing anything. Any stuff in here? No. Uh, Nothing in here? No. Nothing in here, right? A couple things. Okay, so I do have the obsidian chest, the ender infused, I got the wool, I got the ender pearl. I think I finally went out and did do some blaze killing. Another thing for the nether is, yes, there is farming blazes, and early in the game, it's slightly more difficult, obviously. But it is possible to find plants in the nether that when you break them, they do give you, um, rods. Don't remember what the actual plant is called that you can just break and get them. I don't think it'll show it in here at all. Nope. Boo. But same thing, like for instance with gas tiers. There's two plants in the nether. One gives you gas tiers, the other one gives you blaze rods. I don't remember what they're called at the moment, but they're not common, but they're not super rare. So you can somewhat easily find them and you can start getting blaze rods that way, so you don't have to spend a crap load of time just hunting for a fortress in order to get blaze rods. I have found a fortress. I've actually found two. So I can easily go in there and start farming some, I say easily. Uh, but I can start going to farm blaze rods, so I can make something out of them and all that. So, uh, rambling. Uh, Phone's pissing me off. Uh, I'm also blanking. We're in the middle of doing the chest, right? Yes. So I need to craft you. So I need another eye or another. I need to craft an eye of ender. Luckily, I have all the stuff for that. Let's grab an extra ender pearl because I need that. I was storing the quartz in here. There's the blaze quartz. So with the blaze quartz and the ender pearl, we get the eye of ender. And then I need to go craft the regular ender chest. There's the regular ender chest, and now I can craft the other ender chest that's actually needed. There we go. And screw off. I thought I only needed to do the one. No, I have to do two for this quest. And two makes sense because then you place both of them down at different areas and then they're connected. So, son of a bitch. Do I have to? Yes, I do. Let's go back to the nether. Drop everything into the bag so I don't lose anything. Now, real quick, that's not the ones I need. Just want to see if I can find a couple of them real quick so I can show y'all what I was talking about. As I mentioned, they're not common, but they're not entirely rare. So like for instance, this one right here is the tier chalice. You break it, you get a gas tier. That is loud. There we go. This one right here is the blaze flower. Break it, you get the blaze rod. So here's the second one that I found. Hoping do this real quick. Oh, I'm freaking spiking. Shit. That's the other reason why I actually hate the nether. The nether is very, very laggy. Shit. They're loud and I don't want to risk this because I hardcore. Alright, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm in the middle of being a little bitch because gassed and Blaze is spawning. Or Blaze not spawning. Blaze need to spawn. Where's that gassed? I hear you. Oh, you're in the fucking lava. Get out of the lava. Oh, that's one of the the whatchamacallits. Like blinking. Please tell me you dropped one. Well, if you did, I didn't pick it up. Didn't drop one. You son of a bitch. Okay. Gassed loud. I'm gonna be a little bitch. Oop, wait. Nope. Plus, I gotta make sure I remember how to actually get back to my portal anyway. I haven't done enough traveling in the Nether to be entirely comfortable with the layout and everything. Okay. Ooh, hello. Big money no fall, 'cause that's lava. That's two. I do have two at the base, which does technically give me enough to do what I need to do at the moment. That's all we'll do. Wither skeletons. There we go. Fuck, why can't I not remember shit? Alright. So we got two more blaze rods. To go with the two we already had. I need to grab another pearl. Crap, I think I actually need to go find um no wait, I don't need to. I got string. I think it's 9 to actually craft a freaking block of wool too. Or it might be 4 still. That's still 4, cool. Do I have? Started a thought and I forgot where my thought was going. The ender infused obsidian. I swear I made a nice chunk. If not, it's not too terribly difficult to craft any. Damn it. It is the Enderium with the obsidian tile. How much Enderium do I have? Because there's 12 right there. There we go. I'll be back in there. Clear out the inventory just a little bit. Oh, crap, I need another fucking obsidian chest. Shit. First, there's the pearl. Because we're gonna need that pearl. Grab another pearl. Because we're gonna need that pearl too. Uh, I need an obsidian chest. Obsidian does diamond. gold, silver, iron, copper, everything. I'm just gonna use all that for other shit. Okay. Iron. Wait. Gold. Copper. Where's my silver? I need a chest. I think it's iron first anyway. Yeah, iron. And silver. And gold. Diamond. Obsidian. Cool. We get the ender chest out of the way. And we craft the ender chest again. So now we got two. You know, I think the last time I played through with this pack, I did that exact same thing where I crafted one, didn't realize I needed two, so I had to waste time to craft a second one. There we go. Which unlocks the tanks because we already crafted those. So now we can go through and start doing the actual tanks. Or I can end the episode here because I've technically hit my time. I think there might still be some steps I have to do anyway because I do have these. Let me see where I actually need to go with this. You just need to be strengthened. Copper. Okay, we got all those. Cool. I wonder if they're all strengthened. If they're all strengthened, then I have everything. There's portable tanks. This involves Ingvar, more strengthened, portable. There's the hardened. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have everything then. So we should be good. Reinforced, which is obsidian ingots. Obsidian ingots, it's literally taking an obsidian block, you put it in the crafting grid, boom, you got ingots. There's the reinforced. So we need the resonant. I'm also just making sure that the quests are cycling through properly so we actually get them. Which is more Enderium ingots, strengthened glass, and reinforced, total progressive, which is a pain, but it's whatever. There we go. So now we're on to the other types of tanks. So from here, this is where you would get the glass and the weighted pressure plates, and then you would craft the backpack tank, which is another tank that has to be crafted. Do I have that stuff in my inventory? I don't. Did I need all three for a reason? I don't remember. I know there's two that are needed for a crafting recipe. I have it set up to where I was gonna craft three of the second tank, the pressurized fluid tank. Why was I gonna do that? What did I need it for? One of them has to go for the ender tank. Is it the fluid tank that's needed? The fluid tank's needed to go in there. That's why I was in the middle of trying to do three, because two of the regular fluid tanks are needed for the vat, but then the one pressurized fluid tank is actually needed to go into the ender tank. Okay, I technically needed to make four. Fuck. And when I say four, I mean four of the resonant portable tanks. So, we make all three of these. We only make one of the pressurized. And then that can go into the ender tank. But I have technically already hit my time. So I will go ahead and end the episode here. So we did craft almost all the tanks that are needed, at least for the here and now. Sorry, yawning. For the here and now of the quests, if I'm not mistaken, more tanks are coming in the future at some point because I think I have to recraft all these again too. Um, but I hope y'all did enjoy it. I hope some of the information I gave y'all in this episode was useful. Like I mentioned earlier, I can actually start getting back into some Dark Souls 2 and get that going as well. And hopefully I can hit some normalcy in terms of trying to upload at least once a week again, if not hopefully a twice a week thing. And if I can get some Dark Souls 2 back into the rotation, then it can be like one day out of the week I get Minecraft, the other day out of the week I get Dark Souls, and then we can just go on from there. But hope you did enjoy the episode. If you have any comments or questions or anything like that, put them down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel and you want to see some future uploads, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. This way you can get notified on future uploads as well as seeing future content and all that kind of good stuff. But in the meantime, I will see y'all later. Bye.